Jacob Fatu's mystery attacker revealed as Drew McIntyre after WWE Raw footage review. Are you seriously telling me that some of you still didn't figure out who attacked Jacob Fatu? I've been watching the wrestling community for the last 48 hours, and I'm absolutely baffled at how many people were shocked when the footage review revealed Drew McIntyre as the attacker. Were you not paying attention to the obvious clues? Were you not watching the same show as the rest of us? This wasn't some impossible mystery to solve. The breadcrumbs were everywhere. But now that it's been confirmed that the Scottish Warrior ambushed the Samoan Werewolf in one of the most brutal backstage assaults we've seen in years, the landscape of WWE has been completely shattered. Drew McIntyre just declared war on the Bloodline in the most violent way possible, and if you think this is just another random attack, then you have no idea what's coming. This is personal. This is calculated. This is the beginning of something that's going to consume Monday Night Raw for months. And I'm about to break down exactly why this revelation changes everything. Let's rewind to where this all started, because understanding the full context of this situation is absolutely critical to appreciating the magnitude of what just happened on Monday Night Raw. 3 weeks ago, Jacob Fatu, the most dominant member of the Bloodline, the Samoan Werewolf himself, was found laid out backstage, completely unconscious. Medical personnel rushing to his aid. Security cameras mysteriously malfunctioning. The entire Raw roster in chaos trying to figure out who would be bold enough to attack arguably the most dangerous man in WWE. Jacob Fatu is not just any wrestler. This man is a legitimate monster. The Fatu family legacy runs deep. Son of the Tonga Kid, nephew of Rikishi, cousin to the Usos and Roman Reigns, this man has royalty in his blood. And beyond the family name, Jacob has proven himself to be an absolute wrecking ball in the ring. His combination of size, agility, and brutality makes him one of the most feared competitors in the entire company. Quick question for the comments: did you correctly guess it was Drew McIntyre before the reveal, or were you completely surprised? The attack itself was vicious. Fatu was found with chair shots to the back, a shattered table nearby, and what looked like multiple impacts to his head and body. This wasn't a quick ambush, this was a sustained assault. Whoever did this wanted to send a message. They wanted to put Jacob Fatu down and keep him down. In the weeks following the attack, speculation ran wild. Was it Brock Lesnar? Was it Seth Rollins getting revenge for Bloodline sins? Was it someone from NXT looking to make a name? Was it a returning legend? The theories were endless. WWE played into the mystery brilliantly. They had security footage that was too grainy to identify the attacker. They had witness interviews where everyone claimed they didn't see anything. They had Bloodline members pointing fingers at everyone on the roster. The tension was building week after week. Jacob Fatu himself cut intense promos when he returned, promising destruction to whoever was responsible. The rage in his eyes was real. You could feel the desire for vengeance radiating from him. He said he wouldn't rest until he found his attacker and made them pay. But Monday night? Monday night, we finally got answers. Drop a comment: how many different suspects did you consider before the truth came out? The Raw episode opened with a video package, a complete review of all available footage from the night of the attack. WWE's crack investigative team, and yes, I'm being slightly sarcastic there, had finally restored the security footage and pieced together what happened. The footage showed Jacob Fatu walking through the backstage area after his match. He was alone, towel around his neck, heading toward the locker room. He passed by the equipment area, that section backstage where all the road cases and production gear are stored. And then boom, a figure emerged from behind a road case. Dressed in black, hood pulled up, massive in size. The figure was carrying a steel chair, and before Fatu could even react, crack, chair shot to the back. Fatu stumbled forward, crack, another chair shot. Fatu went down to one knee, crack, crack, crack. 3 more devastating chair shots. Fatu collapsed completely, but the attacker wasn't done. Oh no, this was just getting started. The hooded figure dragged Fatu's unconscious body and positioned him against a table, then climbed onto an equipment crate. The camera angle was perfect to show the sheer height of what was about to happen. The figure jumped, driving both feet through Fatu and the table in a double stomp that echoed through the entire backstage area. The table exploded into pieces. Fatu was buried in the wreckage. And then this is where it got crystal clear. The attacker stood over Fatu's broken body, pulled back his hood, looked directly at the security camera, and smiled. Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior, the former WWE champion, the man who's been on a warpath since losing his title. Drew was responsible for the attack that took out Jacob Fatu. Question for discussion: what went through your mind when Drew pulled back that hood? The arena erupted when this footage played. Some fans were shocked. Some fans were cheering. Some fans immediately started chanting "Holy S dash," because they understood the magnitude of what this meant. Drew McIntyre attacking Jacob Fatu isn't just a random assault, it's a declaration of war against the Bloodline. It's a statement that Drew is done playing by the rules. It's a message that the Scottish Warrior is willing to do whatever it takes to destroy anyone standing in his way. After the footage aired, we cut to a live shot of Drew McIntyre backstage. He was standing in front of a monitor, watching the footage with that sadistic smile we saw in the security video. A backstage interviewer, I think it was Kathy Kelly, approached him nervously. "Drew, the footage clearly shows you attacked Jacob Fatu 3 weeks ago. Do you have any comment? Any explanation?" Drew slowly turned to face the camera, and what he said next sent chills down everyone's spine. "Explanation? You want an explanation? How about this? I'm done being overlooked. I'm done being disrespected. I'm done watching the bloodline run roughshod over everyone while I'm expected to just accept it. Jacob Fatu thinks he's a monster? I just showed the world what happens when a real monster decides to hunt. And I'm not done. The bloodline? Every single member? You're all on my list. Roman, Jimmy, Solo, Tama Tonga, every single one. But I started with Jacob because I wanted to take out the biggest, baddest, most dangerous member first. And I didn't just beat him, I broke him." The intensity in Drew's delivery was off the charts. This wasn't a worked promo, this felt real. This felt like genuine rage that had been building for months finally exploding. Let me know in the comments, is Drew McIntyre the most underrated promo in all of WWE right now? Drew continued, "Jacob Fatu, when you're watching this, and I know you understand something, that attack was personal. That attack was calculated. That attack was just the beginning. You want revenge? You want to get your hands on me? Good. Because I'm standing right here. I'm not hiding. I'm not running. I'm waiting for you. Bring the bloodline. Bring the whole Samoan dynasty. It won't matter. Because I'm the Scottish Warrior, and I just went to war with your entire family." He then picked up Angela, his sword, and pointed it directly at the camera. "The hunt has begun. And the bloodline? You're all prey." He dropped the mic and walked off, leaving the interviewer stunned. The crowd was going absolutely insane. Drew McIntyre just became the most dangerous babyface on Monday Night Raw. He's not your typical hero, he's an anti-hero who's willing to cross lines that others won't. Comment below, is Drew McIntyre a babyface or a heel in this storyline? Or something in between? Now let's analyze why this revelation is absolutely brilliant from a storytelling perspective, because there are so many layers to unpack here. Layer 1, Drew's motivation. Drew McIntyre has been frustrated for months. He lost the WWE Championship. He's been in constant battles but never quite getting back to the top. Meanwhile, the bloodline has been dominating everything. Roman's on SmackDown holding court, and the Raw members of the bloodline, particularly Jacob Fatu, have been running through everyone. Drew watching Jacob Fatu destroy people week after week, getting all the attention, being positioned as this unstoppable force, it ate at him. Drew's thinking, I've been unstoppable. I've been WWE Champion. I've been the face of this company. Why is everyone treating this bloodline member like he's untouchable? So Drew did what Drew does, he took matters into his own hands. He hunted Jacob Fatu like prey and struck when Fatu was most vulnerable. That's calculated. That's smart. That's the actions of someone who's been pushed too far. Layer 2, the bloodline's response. This attack puts the bloodline in an impossible position. They built their entire reputation on being the most dominant faction in wrestling. They're supposed to be untouchable. But Drew just touched them. He touched their strongest member. He laid out Jacob Fatu like it was nothing. How does the bloodline respond? If they don't retaliate immediately and brutally, they look weak. But if they gang up on Drew, which is their usual tactic, Drew becomes a sympathetic babyface. It's a no-win situation for them. And there's internal conflict potential too. Did anyone in the bloodline see Drew stalking Fatu and not warn him? Could there be blame being passed around? Is Jacob Fatu embarrassed that he got ambushed? The drama writes itself. Drop your thoughts. How should the bloodline respond to Drew's attack? Layer 3, Drew's character evolution. This moves Drew into a fascinating character space. He's not a traditional babyface who fights fair. He's not a heel who's purely villainous. He's somewhere in between, an anti-hero who does questionable things for reasons the audience can understand. Fans can relate to Drew's frustration. We've all felt overlooked at work. We've all felt like we're not getting the respect we deserve. We've all wanted to just explode at the people holding us back. Drew is channeling those universal feelings, but he's also doing it in a way that's brutal and extreme. He didn't just challenge Jacob Fatu to a match, he ambushed him with weapons. He went for maximum damage. That's crossing a line, but it's a line fans are willing to forgive because they understand why. Layer 4, fresh matchups. Drew vs Jacob Fatu is a match we've never seen before at this level. These two monsters colliding? The striking, the power moves, the intensity. That's a potential match of the year candidate. But it's not just Drew versus Fatu. This opens up Drew versus any bloodline member. Drew versus Solo Sikoa. Drew versus Tama Tonga. Hell, maybe eventually Drew versus Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Championship. The The possibilities are endless. Question: what's your dream match that comes out of this Drew vs. Bloodline war? Let's talk about the execution of the reveal, because WWE absolutely nailed the presentation. The footage review format was perfect. Instead of just having Drew come out and confess, they made us watch the attack. They made us see the brutality. They made us experience the violence step by step. That's so much more effective than just telling us what happened. The production quality was excellent. The security footage looked appropriately grainy and dark, but not so much that you couldn't see what was happening. The reveal of Drew's face was shot perfectly. You could see that sadistic satisfaction in his expression. Drew's backstage promo hit all the right notes. He didn't apologize. He didn't make excuses. He owned what he did and explained his reasoning. That's how you cut a compelling promo. Give the audience context. Give them something to latch onto. The crowd reactions were genuine. You could hear the surprise, the shock, and then the excitement when people realized what this meant for future storylines. That organic reaction is priceless. Let me know, what was your favorite part of how WWE revealed this information? Now let's do some fantasy booking and explore where this storyline could go, because the potential is massive. Scenario 1: one-on-one warfare next week on Raw. Jacob Fatu demands a match with Drew McIntyre. Management makes it official, but it's not just any match. It's a no disqualification match. These two get to destroy each other with no rules. They beat the hell out of each other for 20+ minutes in a brutal, physical war. Neither man gives an inch. It ends in some kind of non-finish that sets up a rematch at the next premium live event, maybe inside a steel cage where there's no escape. Scenario 2: numbers game. The Bloodline tries to jump Drew, but Drew's been preparing for this. He's recruited allies. Maybe Sheamus and his crew. Maybe some of Drew's fellow countrymen. We get a traditional Survivor Series style match: Drew's team versus the Bloodline. 5-on-5 warfare. The build would be incredible, and the match would be stacked with talent. Scenario 3: the hunt continues. Drew doesn't just stop with Jacob Fatu. Every week, another Bloodline member gets attacked. Drew is systematically taking apart the entire faction one by one. Solo Sikoa? Ambushed. Tama Tonga? Attacked. Drew becomes this unstoppable force that the Bloodline can't predict or defend against. It culminates in a massive multi-man match where the entire Bloodline tries to end Drew once and for all. Scenario 4: Roman gets involved. This attack on his family brings Roman Reigns back to Raw. The tribal chief can't let this disrespect stand. We get the ultimate showdown: Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. These two have history. They've had incredible matches before. But this time it's personal. It's not about championships, it's about respect, family, and revenge. That's WrestleMania main event material. Give me your fantasy booking. How would you continue this storyline over the next 3 months? Let's address some of the criticisms I'm already seeing online, because I want to tackle them head on. Drew attacking someone from behind is out of character. Wrong. Drew has always been willing to do whatever it takes. Remember his heel run? Remember some of the ruthless things he's done in his career? This is completely in character for someone who's been pushed to his limit. This makes Jacob Fatu look weak. Nonsense. Fatu got ambushed with weapons by a former WWE champion. That doesn't make him look weak, it makes Drew look dangerous and smart. When Fatu gets his revenge, he'll look like a warrior for overcoming this. WWE is just copying the WCW NWO beatdown angles. Every great wrestling story has been told before in some form. The key is the execution, and WWE is executing this perfectly. The characters have clear motivations, the stakes are high, and the audience is invested. Drew should be challenging for the world title, not wasting time with the Bloodline. Who says he can't do both? Some of the best storylines involve multiple layers. Drew can be at war with the Bloodline while also positioning himself for a title shot. That's called depth. Final question before we continue: what's the worst take you've seen online about this reveal? Let's talk about what this means for Drew McIntyre's career specifically, because this could be huge for him. Drew's been somewhat stuck in the upper midcard lately. He's always in meaningful programs, always delivering great matches, but he hasn't had that one thing to take him back to the top. This could be it. This could be the storyline that revitalizes his character and puts him back in the main event picture. This also shows Drew's versatility. He can be a babyface. He can be a heel. He can be an anti-hero. He can work any style with any opponent. That versatility makes him invaluable to WWE's roster. And let's be honest, Drew's in-ring work has been phenomenal lately. His match quality is always top tier. Putting him in a program with the Bloodline, particularly Jacob Fatu, guarantees we're going to get banger after banger. This storyline also allows Drew to showcase his promo skills. The man can talk. He's got intensity, conviction, and charisma on the microphone. Give him a personal storyline with high stakes, and he delivers every single time. Comment your opinion. Is Drew McIntyre WWE's most underutilized talent right now? Now let's discuss what this means for Jacob Fatu specifically. Jacob Fatu has been incredible since joining WWE. His matches have been fantastic. His presence is intimidating. He feels like a star. But he's been missing that one thing, a truly personal feud. This is that feud. Being attacked by Drew McIntyre, hunting him down for revenge that's personal. That's something Fatu can sink his teeth into. That's the kind of storyline that creates connection with the audience. This also gives Fatu a chance to show more character depth. Up until now, he's been the muscle of the bloodline, the enforcer, the monster. But now he gets to show vulnerability. He got caught off guard. He got hurt. That humanizes him while not diminishing his threat level. And the matches between Drew and Fatu are going to be wars. Both men are big, both men are physical, both men can go in the ring. These two are going to beat the hell out of each other, and fans are going to love every second of it. Drop your thoughts. Who benefits more from this feud, Drew or Jacob Fatu? Let's talk about the larger Bloodline storyline and how this fits into it. The Bloodline has been WWE's most prominent faction for years now. Roman's tribal chief run, the Usos' tag team dominance, Solo Sikoa's rise, and now Jacob Fatu as the enforcer on Raw. They've been everywhere. But every great faction needs challenges. They need threats that feel legitimate. Drew McIntyre is that threat. He's not just some random wrestler, he's a former WWE champion who's proven he can beat anybody. Drew systematically targeting the Bloodline creates stakes for them. Suddenly they're not just dominators, they're targets. They have to watch their backs. They have to worry about when Drew will strike next. This also creates potential for internal strife within the Bloodline. Did Jacob Fatu get careless? Should someone have been watching his back? Is Roman going to be disappointed that Fatu got taken out? Family drama is always compelling. Let me know in the comments, does this attack strengthen or weaken the Bloodline's position on Raw? Let's also discuss the crowd reactions we're going to see moving forward. Drew McIntyre is naturally over with audiences. His countdown theme is iconic. His 3, 2, 1 Claymore is one of the most over spots in wrestling. Fans love Drew, but now he's in this morally gray area. He did something brutal and arguably wrong. How will fans react? Will they cheer him for standing up to the Bloodline? Will they boo him for the cowardly attack? Or will it be mixed reactions that create this fascinating dynamic? I predict fans will overwhelmingly support Drew. Why? Because the Bloodline has been so dominant for so long that fans are desperate to see someone take them down. Drew being willing to fight dirty to do it? Fans will forgive that because they want to see the Bloodline get what's coming to them. Jacob Fatu will get respect from the audience. Fans recognize his talent. They appreciate his work. When he comes back for revenge, the crowd will be behind his quest for justice even though they're rooting for Drew overall. That's complex storytelling. Question: will the crowd boo or cheer Drew McIntyre after this revelation? Now let's talk about potential matches and the in-ring psychology that's going to make this feud incredible. Drew vs Fatu one-on-one. This match is going to be stiff. Both men are going to lay it in. Drew's Claymore vs Fatu's Superkick. Drew's Future Shock DDT vs Fatu's Moonsault. The power moves. The strikes. This is going to be a fight, not just a match. The story in the ring will be fascinating too. Fatu's going to be fighting with rage because of what Drew did to him. Drew's going to be fighting with confidence because he knows he can beat Fatu. The psychology writes itself. Drew with allies versus the Bloodline. If this becomes a faction war, you're looking at potential classics. Multi-man tags. Survivor Series eliminations. War games if it comes to that. The possibilities are endless. Drew could team with people like Sheamus, Butch, Ridge Holland, fellow brawlers who match his intensity. Or he could recruit surprising allies who also have beef with the Bloodline. The combinations are intriguing. Comment below, who should be Drew McIntyre's allies if this becomes an all-out war? Let's discuss the promo battles that are going to come from this, because talking is just as important as wrestling. Drew McIntyre is one of the best promos in the business. His intensity is real. His conviction is believable. His delivery is powerful. Putting him in verbal exchanges with Bloodline members is going to create must-see television. Jacob Fatu has shown flashes of promo ability, but he's more of a man of few words type. Having him cut intense, focused promos about revenge is going to be effective. Less is more with someone like Fatu. If Roman Reigns gets involved? Oh boy. Drew and Roman's promo exchanges in the past have been fire. Add the Bloodline dynamics and Drew's recent actions? Those segments will be ratings gold. Paul Heyman could even get involved as the Bloodline's special counsel. Heyman's verbal gymnastics against Drew's straightforward intensity? That's compelling television. Drop your prediction, who wins the verbal battles, Drew or the Bloodline? Let's talk about the championships and how they might factor into this storyline. Drew could use this momentum to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. I took out your enforcer, now I'm coming for your gold. That's a ready-made story. Or maybe Jacob Fatu wins a title Intercontinental or United States and Drew challenges for it as a way to continue their feud. Title feuds always feel more important. This could even tie into Roman Reigns' undisputed championship somehow. Maybe Drew's ultimate goal is to use the Bloodline War as a stepping stone to facing Roman. That's long-term booking. The possibilities for incorporating championships into this feud are numerous, and all of them would add layers to the story. Question: should championships be involved in this feud, or should it stay personal and title-free? Now let's address the timeline and how long this feud should last. I think this needs to be a sustained program, not a one-month sprint. This should last 3 to 4 months minimum. Why? Because you have so much to explore. Month 1, the immediate aftermath. Drew and Fatu's first confrontation. The first match. The Bloodline's initial response. Month 2, escalation. The stakes get higher. More Bloodline members get involved. Drew potentially recruits allies. Month 3, the climax approaches. Premium live event, main event. Big stipulation match. Someone's career/position is on the line. Month 4, the aftermath. Settling scores. Possible Roman Reigns involvement. Setting up the next chapter. This timeline allows for proper build. It gives us multiple matches that all feel different. It lets characters develop. That's smart booking. Let me know, how long do you think this Drew vs. Bloodline storyline should last? Let's also talk about the merchandise opportunities this creates. Drew McIntyre's Scottish Warrior merch already sells well, but imagine new Bloodline Hunter shirts. The hunt has begun. Graphics. Angela's sword replicas. The possibilities are lucrative. Jacob Fatu's merch could lean into the revenge angle. Samoan Werewolf Unleashed. No mercy. The marketing writes itself. And wrestling fans love faction war merchandise. If this becomes Drew's crew versus the Bloodline, you've got multiple revenue streams. That's good business. Comment: would you buy merchandise related to this feud? What would you want to see? In conclusion, the revelation that Drew McIntyre attacked Jacob Fatu is one of the most significant storytelling developments on Monday Night Raw in months. This isn't just a random attack, it's the beginning of a war between one of WWE's most talented individuals and the company's most dominant faction. Every element of this works. Drew's motivation is clear and relatable. The Bloodline's position is compromised, creating vulnerability. The match potential is incredible. The promo battles will be must-see. The crowd is going to be electric for every development. This is the kind of storyline that makes wrestling fun. It's got mystery, violence, personal stakes, and the promise of incredible matches. This is why we watch wrestling. Drew McIntyre just became one of the most compelling characters in all of WWE. Jacob Fatu has a chance to show new dimensions of his character. The Bloodline faces their biggest threat yet. Everyone benefits from this angle. The hunt has begun, and we're all here for the chase. Drop every thought you have in the comments. Are you Team Drew or Team Bloodline? How do you want this to play out? What matches do you want to see? Let's have a massive discussion. Smash that like button if you're hyped for this feud. Subscribe to Wrestling Newsletter for daily WWE coverage and analysis. Hit the notification bell because you don't want to miss a single development in this incredible storyline. Drew vs. the Bloodline is going to be epic, and we're covering every moment. Let's go!